So I'm ready to do my solder. Um, and what I have is little pieces of solder that are cut in here. I have my flux, I have my torch. The idea is that we're gonna flux this whole piece of solder, this whole solder ring. So I have this big container of flux. I'm going to dip it in. I'm going to set it on the cotter pin and just making sure that the seam is not in contact with this steel cotter pin. The cotter pin lets the heat go underneath, and this I can spin this little soldering pan around. I want to really make sure that this piece is fluxed all the way, so I'm going to just dip it once more and make sure that that seam has enough solder. And now it's just like soldering a band ring. I'm going to use medium. I have used medium already on the piece, but I can use medium and just direct the heat so I can pull the solder down the seam. So the solder is turning white. That's an indicator of the temperature. Making sure that I keep my flame moving and not resting it in one spot. That would be really bad, especially when you're working with silver. I'm going to pick up solder with this solder pick here. So I can go in, grab a piece of solder. It's going to ball up. I'm going to take it with my little solder pick. And now I can start to put the solder on the seam. There. The solder is now on the seam, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing around, take the torch, and pull it through from the back side. You can see that it's getting really close in temperature to that solder flowing. It's actually flowing right now. And the only question is, do I have enough solder? So when in doubt, put another one. I'm going to add a little bit to it here. Because it's a band-on-band ring, you might need to have a little bigger piece of solder. I can still go ahead, there it flows, and it's going to go down the front. Okay, and we're done.